Good afternoon and welcome to the South Lakes on this blustery, windy, wet, not summer's day. Does that surprise me? Not really, because it's Goodwood Festival of Speed. But it's not only that. We've planned a 1,000-mile road trip. Does that mean it's an electric vehicle? Yes, indeed. This is the MG S5. I'm Ben Quirk. Welcome to Planet Auto. It's the replacement for the ZS EV. It offers a versatile, practical and very economical SUV with a fully electric powertrain. Mind you, time's marching on. First, I think you need a quick look round it. So you've got a standard range and a long range SE and a trophy long range. Which is this? SE. You've not got top of the range? No. But there's a reason for that. This gets more range. Yes, it's nice to have the extras with trophy like heated seats. Yes, panoramic's gone, let's not go there. Considering its price, its range, and the practicality it offers, it's a no-brainer. Mind you, ZS EV was. I'm really looking forward to this one. So a little bit about the itinerary. We're off to see Suzuki and celebrate 55 years of all grip. Looking forward to that one. Monster Mountain. Then we're going to spend a couple of days in Cardiff. Then it's on to Leicester for Donington Park. SBK, so the Superbike Championships, courtesy of Subaru. And then it's jump in the car, head towards Goodwood for the Sunday. And on the note of Goodwood, MG are having us as guests. Absolutely fantastic news. Also, you've got Honda, you've got Audi, you've got Renault, pretty much every manufacturer you can think of. And then supercars, latest electric vehicles, latest petrol vehicles, hybrids. I mean, it's one of those events that you need to visit at least once in your life. Right. We've got about 5 minutes to spare, so I'll have a quick walk around the car. ZS EV may be what it's actually evolved from, but there's no ZS EV in it at all. Now the biggest change is the fact that this is rear-wheel drive, whereas ZS EV was front-wheel drive. Also, it's around the same size, which I really couldn't get my head around, because I thought it was longer. But when I parked up a couple of days ago next to one, I realised they're virtually the same footprint, which makes perfect sense. You'll also notice that MG5 has now been phased out. So I'm wondering if that's where the 5 comes from. And then you start thinking about S. Does that mean station wagon? Yes, normally it'd be SW. So I think it's an amalgamation of both. But it offers pretty good levels of practicality. LED lights that swoop round here, lots of sharp angles, semi-clamshell bonnet, and a big MG moniker there. Sculpted front bumper. You can tell it's been built for efficiency. Just look at the way that the air can flow right down here. So that also, it creates essentially an air curtain. So it makes it more and more efficient. More airflow, co-drag efficiency, all the things that give you around 290 miles range. Aggressive front valance, chunky splitter styling, and it looks a bit aggressive sports car. It's something new. ZS was looking, I suppose, a bit old hat, but it's not surprising. It was about 2017. So it's about time they brought out something that, I suppose, evolved their mid-size SUV. Now, of what I've read and what I've seen, it does look mega efficient, but we'll have to put it to the test. But 1,000 miles, well, it's going to do that in droves. Motorways. Normally you'd see a range drop of around 70 miles. I think 250 miles. Whether that'll happen, we'll have to wait and see. Love the touches of black. And yes, those are black alloy wheels. No, they're not, the plastic. No. That insert's plastic, but this bit is clearly alloy. And yes, they're not the biggest wheels, but I think they suit it, especially with the black side skirts here, the black mirrors, etc. Big bubbly tyres mean it's comfortable on-road and off-road, and it's got decent ride height. It's just a shame there's no all-wheel drive. But knowing MG, one could pop up tomorrow. Imagine this with X-Power. Now there's a thought. Now remember, this is starter trim, but you still get things like keyless entry, even blind spot detection. Door opens nice and wide, and that is a decent opening. The thing is, ZS EV never had a problem with that. Climbing in. Simplicity. Yes, no grab handle. Soft touches. Decent door pocket. China like to give you mega value. I mean, just look at the latest Xpeng models. There's one spec. Things you lose with this are a camera and, surprisingly, rain-sensing wipers. Also, an SE, you don't get power folding door mirrors. But they are kind of things that you can live without. Did you hear that? That's the other big difference. There's no start. You quite literally put your foot on the brake, turn the dial, and go into drive. And yes, rotary dial has returned. Well, I presume it's the same. The thing is, familiarity, especially when it's a vehicle that's evolved from the previous one, is a very good move. And yes, there's no getting away from the fact it looks nothing like ZS EV inside. It's more like MG4, but the fact that it's built on that platform, uses that technology, etc., makes perfect sense. Decent sized infotainment screen, and it's nice and responsive. Yeah, there's no getting away from it is MG4, but I think that's a good thing. The thing is, this cluster's bigger, so they've listened to feedback and they've addressed it in massive ways. For example, you've got a proper rotary here for the fan and a push switch, as well as a home switch with a button and rotary for your volume, and then proper buttons for your demisters, hazards, etc. It's very well laid out and thought out. Steering wheel, the nice sporty one. Driven with this a few times. It's a decent size and it feels good to the touch. There was always this, I don't know, people thought, oh, MG, that's cheap. It's been bought by China. Well, it's a good job they were, because look where they are now. And the feedback that comes with it. It may have been a bumpy journey to start with in 2017, but they were finding their feet. And if you notice after that, that's when a lot of Chinese brands started thinking, actually, the UK is one heck of a market. And just look what's happening now. One thing I'm never going to get used to is the fact it's a manual seat. In the trophy though, down here, I can adjust my headlamp height and I've got power door mirrors. But interestingly, they don't fold. They do in the trophy though. Proper vents. Yes, I could do that for hours. Solid build quality as well. Decent cup holders and yes, no wireless charging pad, but you do get one on the trophy. Pull up armrest, USBs in there, and at a push, it's wide enough for you and your passenger. Electronic handbrake, yes, that's just the way it's going to be. It's a nice spacious cabin, and considering it's the same size as a ZS EV, or thereabouts, it feels more open. I think they've lowered the dash and also pushed it back as well, because I've still got room behind me at 6'3". Yes, you'll find hard plastic. Floating center console, so I've got storage. No curves button here or paddles. Modes, and there's a number of them, including sport. Best bet, if you want to know more about that, is to watch the rest of the road trip. If you like this type of video, why not subscribe to the channel? You just hit the button on the right hand side. It's free and you'll get an alert every time we upload. Thank you. MG Pilot, so an advanced system, so it's got even more features. Now this makes sure that you're looking at the road. Now typically they're pretty good. I'm just wondering how it's going to cope with the fact that I like to wear sunglasses pretty much all the time. Adaptive cruise on here, and we've got the reversing camera. Now there is no physical driving mode button, but like other MGs, you can map it. So you've got your star here and your star here. Currently we've got driving modes mapped to this one. And on this one, we've got the air conditioning. And the cluster's laid out well. In the middle, you can see things like the lanes on a motorway, vehicles. It even differentiates between big vehicles and small vehicles. On the left-hand side, you've got the range and also your battery percentage. Up here, you can see which mode you're in. And this is your power. So when it's in a minus figure, it's regenning, and it does that by coasting, braking, etc. And if I remember correctly, they've overhauled that, so it's a different EV system too, regarding braking, etc. It stops as well as it goes. So there's your taster. Now, because we're going on a road trip, we'll cover all this in more depth, but I do like the fact that we've got a nice light headliner, and in true SE style, cloth seats. They're rather buckety, and I think they're going to be pretty good for a long haul. Typically MG seats take a long haul in their stride. No, it's going to be hard to beat this one. I just need to make sure that my electric bike will go in the back, because I need to do my cycling. A city bike that folds, I think we've got a good chance. I'm looking forward to my holiday, and so is Annabelle. But we'll have a quick look at the back before we move on. I love these interesting materials, and even up here, this is soft touch. It's a real revamp of ZS. And the fact that it uses a fully dedicated platform just means, well, it's far better. Climbing out, and look at that. At my height, absolutely no problem. Solid build quality, and that's inside and out. The side profile is glorious. I mean, just look at the way these rear haunches jut out. Touches of chrome, but nothing overkill. And some decent roof rails. They may just be for looks, but they're mounted well. Nice long back doors, and yes, a hard plastic, but you've got a padded area. And look at the length of it. Climbing in, look at that. I have to duck my head a little bit, but nothing out of the ordinary. It makes all the difference having a flat floor too. Feet straight under the seats. I know I'm a bit enamoured with it, but I was with ZSEV. It was something completely different for MG. Yes, there are some harder plastics in the centre, but you've got a USB here, and I do think they've raised this seat. I seem to have a great view out. As for headroom, was that about 2 inches? No armrest. Comfortable, supportive, and they've got an element of bucket, and I love the cloth trim. It would have been nice if this had been cloth trim too, but you know, grab handle above every door except the driver's, and ISOFIX points, airbags. It's nice and spacious, it's airy, and it's comfortable. Just what you need. Let's take a look at the rear. Like the front, fabulous design language, especially with this full width light bar. And just look at these rear lenses, all LED too. I think it looks really cool. MGS5 and EV in green. Decent sized rear window, and yes, a wiper. High level brake light and a sporty rear spoiler. And if I'm not mistaken, this is Piccadilly blue. You can see how they built efficiency even into here, the way it flows round and then off the back. As far as tech goes, cross traffic alert, reversing camera and parking sensors. You'll notice there's no parking sensors on the front. If you want those, you'll have to go for the trophy. I did wonder what would happen to the ZSEV, what the next iteration would be. And all I can do is compel you to take one for a drive. But of course, after you've watched the road trip, because then you'll really see an insight. The thing is, when you live with a vehicle and drive it pretty much day in, day out for 7 days, you'll see things that you wouldn't see in just a simple drive. Hopefully that'll help you guys. Charging, it's now here. So the one thing we've noticed is that you're gonna have to reverse it in 9 times out of 10, unless you've got a charger that's on its side, but they're rare. Type 2, rapid, and interestingly, there's no home charger in the boot. I don't even know if that's an option. I'll have to check into that. Also, this supports vehicle to load. So you can run coffee machines, charge electric bikes, etc., etc. So it'll be interesting to see what we get and how long it takes when we charge, because we're bound to at one point, with a rapid charger on a road trip. Charging with a home charger, Type 2, around 8 hours. Shows you all the information on the screen. You can also get an app, so you can check whether the vehicle's locked. You can set preconditioning and all manner of things. Well worth getting. Let's take a look in the boot. As we have the SE, we do not have a power tailgate. It's a decent sized boot. Also, with this false floor, there's no load lip whatsoever. Type 2, storage point here, storage point there, and yes, an old school parcel shelf. Light here, shopping bag hooks, and yes, 60/40 folding seats. Tethering hooks here. Dropping the seats is simplicity. You can do it at a push from here, but it is easier from the passenger side. Observe. And, because it's a smallish SUV, you can lean across and get this one too. How easy. Carpeted here, and it's virtually flat, and it really does open it up. Quite easily get my electric mountain bike in here, but I would have to remove the front wheel. Perfect for kids moving from uni, tip runs, you name it. Let's take a look under the bonnet. The release is here, and you need to pull twice. Just lift. No struts, and no frunk. It's nice and easy to see where to top up fluids. Looks like raspberry aid, but don't drink it. Very straightforward. Oh, I think it's time to hit the road. Got a long way to go. First stretch, Cardiff. Nice, solid bang. Right, see you on the road. Fully loaded. That's the thing, it's a spacious SUV, unless you put an electric bike in there. But the fact you can get an electric bike in there is amazing in itself. Only arrived about 2 or 3 hours ago. So we just had it on charge, so we top it up. So heading to Cardiff first. We're expecting around 5 hours, so 245, 250 miles. This is saying, I think it's 231. But if you look at the specs for it, it should be closer to 290. So I reckon it'll sort itself out when we get on the road. All the sand on the beach seems to be blowing up. So yeah, It's not dust, it's sand. Apple CarPlay connected nice and easily. So 99% of battery, 228 miles. Without further ado, let's just wait for Annabelle and adventure ahoy. Well, 7-day adventure today, Annabelle. Well, the last time we went to Goodwood in anything MG, well, anything ZSE, shall we say, it was, what, 7 years ago?
Yeah, I think you're right, blimey.
Oh, that's the place to park, isn't it? Ooh, it's got some oomph. Yeah, if you think about it, we came back in the ZSEV, and it was the first gen.
It was, yeah.
So it's rather apt. And where are we going?
So, of course, we're going to Goodwood.
Exactly.
But before we get to Goodwood, we've got some other interesting events to go to, haven't we?
We have. Adventures galore. Okay, that's pretty cool.